Realtors, are you currently concerned about the class action lawsuits all over the U.S. that are taking place and how it might affect your current or future real estate business? RE/MAX Results General Counsel Ed Kaiser recently hosted an event that almost 500 of the realtor community attended. We have a recording of this event where Ed did a deep dive, about 3 hours, into the history of the real estate industry and history of past legal action that has shaped the real estate market. And it's a good explanation of how we got to where we are today and what to expect in the future. If you'd like a copy of this recording, simply send an email to podcast@results.net.
John Collopy and I, since day one, we've always just clicked. Yep. There's just people that you click with.
It takes a special human being to love John Collopy the way we do.
And what did the day in the life of Lien Pham
Oh my gosh.
as John Collopy's assistant
I
look
might need
like?
a shot to go through this. Where's the fireball act? This is going to be amazing. Hey everybody, William here. And
Sarah.
And
Lien Pham.
Woo!
I'm really pumped for this.
Oh my
Will.
gosh, are you kidding me? First of all, this is William Huffman and Sarah Huffman, and we have been asked to guest host this amazing podcast with the one and only
Lien Pham.
That was
job,
really
Will.
good, yes.
All right.
Okay.
So, how do we want to rock this one, Will?
All right, let's go way back in the beginning.
Oh my God.
To the year 2000.
I mean, that's awesome, right?
That is a while ago, but
23?
tell us, where are you from?
I was originally born in Coon Rapids, Minnesota, and then we relocated to Eagan, Minnesota when I was in middle school.
What,
Really? What brought you from...
You just skipped a bunch of years.
Oh, yeah, she did.
What?
Well, you just went from born to middle school. Like, what the hell? There's a lot of other stuff. Like, what did you do? Like, were you a good student? Were you like a horrible human being?
Do you have siblings?
Yeah.
Like, were you the first? Like,
Nope,
let's back
I'm-
this up.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Okay, so you were born in Coon Rapids.
Yes.
And?
I was the youngest, my mom's youngest.
Okay.
Um,
You're the baby.
I am my
The
mom's
baby.
baby.
Okay.
Yes, I am.
What did your parents do?
They had immigrated here from Vietnam, so they pretty much did what they needed to do and took whatever
Got to
job they
work.
could. Yep.
Heck yeah.
So they immigrated over. Were they married?
No, my parents met here actually.
They met here.
Oh,
Yeah.
cool. Okay.
But they were both from Vietnam.
Yes.
Wow.
Wow.
Okay, see, this is like interesting
See
stuff,
the universe, right? You can't just leave this cool stuff out. So they came here. They fell in love. Had a bunch of you kids. Love, marriage. And for some reason, you're in Coon Rapids. And then, okay, we're in school. Do we like school? What's going on there?
I mean, yeah. I mean, I was your average kid. I don't know.
You keep saying average. Girl,
I
there's
like-
nothing about
There's
you average.
nothing
You are
average
special
about
AF.
Lien Pham.
Yeah.
Like, did you like sports? Or did you like
No.
music?
No.
Animals? Barbies?
Video games.
What did you play?
It was all a blur. I mean, we played outside a lot.
Yeah.
With the neighborhood kids.
Like tag?
Yeah.
You're
Night
at
games?
And yeah. Night games.
Kick the can?
I don't think we played that one.
You can play kick the can?
I don't think so.
It
not
involves
too late.
It involves a can and
Also,
you
you
kick
guys,
it.
this was a long time ago. I hardly remember.
You blocked it out.
Yes.
Okay, so you moved to Eagan.
What's the mascot of your school that you're at in Eagan?
In Eagan?
Yeah. What's the school
Well,
mascot?
are we talking about my middle school or my?
Any of them?
Both?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know them?
Do you know both of them?
I went to Blackhawk Middle School in Eagan.
Okay.
I don't know what the mascot was. Panthers.
Fighting Panthers. Yes, set me up for that one. Thank you.
So when I was in high school, school wasn't really my thing.
I feel you.
So that
100%.
was when I say that I was rebellious. Yes, I did. I skipped a lot of school. I was just disinterested and wanted to be with my friends
Yeah.
and just not. I just wanted to move on with my life.
Yeah, I did 7th grade twice. Just want to let you know, like I didn't go the first time. And the only reason I got out of middle school is the principal used specific, very harsh language. Some of them maybe eating the F-bombs, saying you're somebody else's problem now. And then I went to an alternative high school. So I'm with you.
Yeah.
Preach, sister.
So while I was in high school, I got a job at a small real estate brokerage in Burnsville.
Okay, so real estate goes all the way back to high school for
Yeah.
you.
Real
That's
estate
where-
started early.
Yeah. That's
I had
real
no
estate
idea.
is all I know.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what brokerage and
It was a Prudential brokerage.
Okay.
So they're no longer in real estate here.
what
So,
did you do for them?
Well, it's interesting. I had reached out to them, and I don't even know how I found them, but I was very persistent, and I would call and say, "Hey, do you have any openings, like front desk, looking for receptionist work?"
Specifically at a real estate firm.
Yeah,
Okay.
and I don't know why, but it was just
That
something
was the
I
draw.
wanted. I wanted to work in an office. At that time, I was like, "Oh, I'll feel like an adult, and I'll have an office job," and nothing available. And then I stopped in there because I called, nothing. I stopped in there, and
You door knocked them. You're like,
Yep,
let's go.
I said, "You know what? I know you guys don't have anything, but let me just fill out an application and leave it with you." And the manager there was like, "Dang, this girl is like, she you know,
She's
there was
hungry.
something. Yeah, there was
Yeah.
something there." So, when I got hired there, I was just a fill-in receptionist. I didn't have any set hours. I was just call me when you need me kind of a person. So I started there, and I worked at Prudential for 7 years
Oh, wow. Okay.
until they had closed their doors.
So in what
So-
year did you start
Wow.
there?
So I started there when I think it was 2002, 2003. I was 17.
2002, 2003. Okay. And you worked there for 7 years. So you saw
Yep.
the S show of a market happen.
Yep.
The
and
beginning
all-
of it.
Yeah.
So I was there. Again, I was part-time receptionist, and then of course, I stayed there, moved into full-time role, moved into an office manager role there for that brokerage
Okay. That's awesome.
In Burnsville.
in Burnsville.
Okay.
Yep.
My brain wants to go to my next question, but I don't know if you're going to let me go there yet. Will.
What's your next question?
So, how long have you been with Remax Results?
Yeah, I
I've
wasn't
been
going to
with
go there
Remax
yet.
Results for 14 years.
So, when we think about the timing, did you go right from Prudential
Yep.
to Results?
I did.
And how did that transition?
Well, it was interesting because, excuse me, the manager that had hired me at Prudential had moved on to Remax Results.
Get out.
So when the doors closed at Prudential, we still stayed connected, and so she was like, "You need to come over here." So
And is she still here?
she is not still here.
I was like, do we like carry this through? Okay. But she got you in.
She got me in.
And what was your role then at Results?
I came to Results as the licensing coordinator.
Okay.
Yeah. So I processed all of the transfers, and it was nice having that experience at Prudential because I did all of that there. So
And
It
at
was
that
just
point, how
seamless.
big was Results? Do you remember like how many offices?
I don't remember, to be honest with you.
14 years ago. I mean, we've been here 9 years, so it wasn't too much before us.
Yeah.
Yeah, I suppose.
Yeah. So it was a good size.
Okay, so how long did you stay in licensing?
I think I only stayed in licensing for like 6 months.
Because you quit?
No.
Oh, okay. No, because you're still here. All right.
Because John Collopy was looking for an assistant.
Oh.
And John Collopy and I, since day one, we've always just clicked.
Yep.
There's just people that you click with.
It takes a
and-
special human being to love John Collopy the way we do.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, so then you went to be John's assistant, and how did that work?
it was good.
Like, were you, because right now his assistant, right, isn't in the same office as him.
Correct.
But were you in the same office as him? Like, were you
Yes.
in Eden Prairie
Yep,
with him?
I
okay.
was.
And what did the day in the life of Lien Pham
Oh my
as
gosh.
John Collopy's assistant
I
look
might need
like?
a shot to go through this. Like, where's the fireball act? This is gonna be amazing.
Oh my gosh.
We want all the juicy
Oh,
details.
stop it.
Yes.
There are no juicy details.
Oh, come on.
Fire.
None.
Brenda's given us some.
Yeah.
It's probably the same. I got to keep them in line. And I still do. Nothing's changed.
Oh man, that's so true. That's so true.
So what did you learn from those years as John's assistant?
For me, it was really eye-opening to see the real ins and outs of the backside of the brokerage.
Yeah.
For sure.
I mean, because you're literally seeing it from the top down at this point.
Yeah.
Like, to have that direct access to one of the leaders in our industry, not just in Minnesota, but literally in the country, in the world even, because Remax is a world brand, to have that unfeathered direct access and to be his quote handler pretty much, like, right? Like, no disrespect. Like, he's got so many things going on. You're the gatekeeper.
So much trust.
You so much trust. Like, and you have to make sure that he's operating at a high level. So the whole company is. That means you have to elevate yourself even. Like, I can only imagine the amount of growth that would happen on a daily level just because you had to.
Yeah. The biggest thing that I had learned from him and what has now been ingrained in me is just caring for the people.
That's so apparent.
You know, I feel like you guys hear it all the time. You know, Remax Results, it's ingrained in every employee that like our agents are our customers and we take care of them. And for me to work so directly with him, because for John, you know, for employees, it's one thing, but for John, it's a whole different level.
Right. Yeah.
And I feel like I've almost taken that on the way John has.
That level, that
level
ownership,
of,
pride,
yes,
joy. Yeah.
absolutely. You guys know, like and it's not even, in my eyes, it's not even just the agents either at this point. Like, I want to take care of all the staff. I want them to come before me, you know, that type of thing. That's how much I care about this place and these people. And that's what I've learned from John the most, is that you have to, in order to be successful, you have to care that much.
Yeah. Wow. That's super powerful.
So if we think back to like being like the rebellious soul, you know, back in high school, and then all of a sudden you have like transformed into this like different leader. I mean, it's like you really became a leader
100%.
Through this real estate career that you took. Like, how has like that rebellion like helped you be that better leader?
And let's not forget that the Mr. Collopy himself is also a rebellious soul.
I don't think rebellion is like a bad thing.
Not even close.
No,
not even close.
It actually it builds confidence a little bit, you know, and like, and to know, like, back then when I rebelled, of course there's going to be consequences, but it's nothing that's going to kill you. It's nothing that you can't fix.
Right.
And so when I have to work with John and I have to be stern with him and I have to, you know, kind of put him in his place, if you will, like it makes things a little easier to have that confidence and know that, he's going to be mad for a little bit or
short term, but for a long-term goal or outcome.
Exactly. And he knows, and our relationship is great and the trust is there. So even if he does get upset with me for a little bit, he understands where it's coming from. And the same when it, you know, vice versa. If he has to come down on me, I understand where it's coming from. But that usually never happens.
Yeah.
Okay. So you worked with,
I'm too damn good.
you worked with John for 6 years.
Yep.
And then what was next?
So what happened was I had my first child and I went on maternity leave and then I came back. And when I came back, he wanted me to learn more of the brokerage stuff, like being his assistant and doing his scheduling and, you know, working on things with him. But he also wanted me to learn other aspects of the company. So came back as a recruiter. After that, I became a regional manager. And then that evolved into the role that I have today, which is, you know, there's the regional manager part, but then for me, my passion is really helping our agents internally, making sure that they are taken care of, making sure that even the new agents that come into the brokerage, just being almost a concierge for them. Whatever you guys need, you know, it's, people ask me a lot, like, what is your job description? What do you do? I'm like, I do what I can. Is my job description.
That is very
true. And I would
true.
say, like, we have been involved with Remax Results for the last 9 years, and I would say that's very true. Like, you can't define what you do because you do whatever we need help with.
Yeah. I honestly, sometimes we got to be like legit. Sarah's like, ooh, I don't know if we should ask Lynn because she will stop everything she's doing to make sure she gets that done. Like, this is we'll take care of this because it's super true. Like, if we bring something to you, you'd make us feel like the most important person in the planet and you'll just go do that. So we just never want to take advantage of that unless it's for dinner.
Okay, but did you also, at what point did you start getting involved in the foundation?
Since John started it.
Okay, so tell us how that all happened. Like, you were there, right, when he started it and he was planning it. Like, how did that all come to fruition?
Well, the foundation, John, we all know John is a very giving man. And he wanted, and this is his legacy. He wanted to build something where he can make sure that we are giving back. And, and he saw the Bremer Bank model and their foundation, and he loved how that was set up. And so he wanted to mimic something like that where, proceeds from the company are going into the foundation, and therefore, we're able to give back into the communities that we serve. So, so that was really interesting. It's difficult to start a foundation. I mean, you don't know what you don't know. And, he appointed the right people to kind of help him start it. And it was cool. It was nice to see that the first thing that he wanted to do was to honor his late business partner, Bill Saunders. So that was his first. We started a scholarship program in partnership with the University of Minnesota.
Yeah.
So that was great. I think that was very honorable of him to do that as his first way of giving back. And with John, it's always been like education has always been very important to John. He will always support anyone that wants to further their education. So, and then in a way to do that with honoring Bill, I think that was just kind of a perfect match at the beginning for that.
Yeah, and that's Bill Saunders, if you guys aren't familiar with who's John's original business partner was. I never had the pleasure of meeting Bill Saunders, but the stories I hear are legendary, and what they have built is beyond epic. So it's super cool.
So are you still involved in the foundation, or is that something that you stepped away from?
Nope, I am still involved in the foundation. So it's fun because we've had some change in the past year with our executive director. However, we are bringing back our first executive director, Miss Kathy Chimento.
Oh, is this breaking news?
This is breaking news.
I just got goosebumps. When you said, I literally just got goosebumps.
Snap.
Yep.
Oh my gosh, are you so excited?
I am very excited. John's very excited. Of course, with the foundation, we all know it's so near and dear to John's heart, and to have it's really hard for him to find people that he truly trusts with something like that. That was a big thing for him.
That's his baby.
Yep. And so he's ecstatic to have Kathy back. Kathy helped start the foundation. She was our first director. She took some time off to raise some babies, but now she's ready to get back into it. And the timing just worked out with this whole situation.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So good. Okay, so we talked about Kathy having a couple babies. I know you've had a couple more.
Now we can bring it back.
Now we're going to go back to personal life, Lynn.
All right. Where did you meet him? What was your first date?
This is great.
Come on now.
How did you meet Peter?
Yeah. Did you meet him in the back alley fighting people?
I met Peter just through some friends in high school.
So Peter goes way back.
Yeah, Peter and I have been together for 22 years.
See? Tell me more.
Yeah. Where's the popcorn?
I'm going to call Peter if we don't get the juiciness out of you. I'm going to call him.
There's nothing juicy there. I mean, we met through some friends. And
was he in Eagan, or where did he grow up?
He grew up in Bloomington.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you met through friends, and then did you what was your first date?
I don't really remember, to be honest with you. It was one of those things where when we first met, we didn't like each other.
Okay.
Oh.
It was,
I didn't have that, I know it's him.
Yeah.
No.
I had that.
No.
I had that. Okay, so tell me what you had.
Yeah.
I had who does this guy think he is? He seems arrogant and a pompous. Yeah.
Okay. And then, so how did you end up liking him?
I think we just continued
or do you love him?
Oh, here we go. I knew you were going to do this.
Yes.
We just continued to hang out with each other in group settings with our friends.
Yep.
So yeah.
And then how did you become exclusive?
Yeah.
Or your friends all with you at your house?
Yeah. It just happened. Peter.
Who made the first move?
Yeah, there you go. Who was like, hey, baby.
I don't know.
I think you do, and you're just not telling us.
Was it you?
No.
Was it Peter?
It had to have been.
It's one of you.
Yeah. It was like the stars were aligned and the eyes met across the room.
And you were like, this is it.
Star-crossed lovers.
I ended up staying at his apartment one night, and because we were hanging out, it was one of his best friend at the time was dating one of my good friends.
Okay.
Yep.
And so Brandon was our friend, and we were hanging out, and we went over to Peter's apartment. And I'm like, okay, we'll hang out here, but Brandon, don't you do, like, we were just going to hang out all night.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Brandon, 11 o'clock, he's like, well, I got to go. And I'm like, he's like, I'll come back for you. I'm like,
No, he didn't.
So I ended up hanging out with Peter at his apartment by myself. And it was really actually nice. We stayed up until like 4 a.m. watching TV. Honestly, like we were watching like Three's Company.
Okay. Oh, are you serious? So
Yes.
are you like an old soul type show or what?
We were just hanging out watching TV.
And it was just comfortable.
Yeah.
And you're like, this guy ain't a complete dirtbag.
And
he's
yeah.
kind of cool.
Well, and interestingly, I was like, I need to get some sleep. And like I ended up spending the night, but I slept on the couch.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah.
Wow. Okay.
The next morning, he's still sleeping, and I'm like kind of nervous. And I call my girlfriend. I'm like, can you please come get me? Like,
what do I do here?
Yeah.
Yep.
And so I left while he was still sleeping.
And then when did you guys watch TV again?
I mean, and then it just became
Yeah, because that's your thing.
it just became a thing. And then we just started hanging out a lot.
And then the rest is history.
Yeah.
And so you guys have been together for 22 years.
Yep.
Okay, so you've got Ethan.
Yep. Ethan's my oldest. He's 13. And then I have Elliot Smelliot. He is 7. And then we just had Emmett, who just turned 1.
And all the E's. How did you guys pick E names?
Yeah.
I mean,
Did it just happen?
That's excellent.
And where do you live now?
we live in Invergrove Heights.
Cool. And how did you pick Invergrove?
Well, we lived, both the 2 older boys, we were living in Minneapolis when we had them. And so, we were like, okay, we need more space. We loved our home in Minneapolis. We loved the area.
Whereabouts in Minneapolis?
South Minneapolis, just east of Lake Nokomis.
Yep.
Oh, right on. Yep.
And so we were there, and we're like, okay, like, we really love our house. We love the area. We met with some people. We're like, maybe we'll just do an addition, because we knew we needed more space.
Mm-hmm.
That was
Not the option.
no. So we're like, okay, let's sell. And then we moved to Invergrove Heights. We moved to Invergrove Heights. We've seen the neighborhood, and we've driven through it a couple times. We're like, oh, that's such a cute neighborhood. I wouldn't mind to live there. And so when we started our search, of course, we wanted to make sure it was in the district that we wanted.
What is that, the 186?
We're
192?
196.
196. That's what it is, 196.
Yeah, so
That's
we are
close.
in the Egan. We live in Invergrove Heights. We're in the Egan School District.
Okay, yep.
Yeah, so that's
Egan, Apple Valley, Rosemount.
And what do you, now that there's 5 of you and you have a football team, all boys,
all boys.
like what do you guys do for
Isn't
fun?
that crazy? You were all girls.
Yeah.
And then the universe is like, Lien Pham.
Here's all boys.
Yeah.
Yep. Even
So
my
what-
dog is a boy.
Like, what is it like living with a house full of boys?
It's chaotic.
Yeah. Why'd you look at me when you said that? Like,
It's
that was so
chaotic,
rude.
and it's never clean.
Okay, you can keep looking at me. That's
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Yep. Okay. And like, do they eat a lot? Are they at that stage where they eat a
Oh
lot?
my gosh. Yes.
Like, I just feel like with boys, it's like people always say, oh my gosh, my boys are always hungry.
Yeah. They are constantly eating, and it's one of those things. We go grocery shopping, and the next day they've blown through all of the string cheese and the yogurts and an entire bag of chips. It's like,
Yeah.
what?
We just bought those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, it's not. They're not museum pieces. It's food.
Okay, boy.
I know, but you don't
What?
an entire bag of chips in like one day.
Will.
That's-
Yeah.
We'll do that.
100%. You don't open them unless you're gonna finish them.
No.
Okay. So
This
what do
is
you guys
rude.
do for fun? Like, do you play games? Do you travel? Like, what do you guys like to
Make fun of your children by calling them Smelly Elliot.
Oh my gosh.
Not
Smelly.
smelly Elliot. It's smelly it.
It's just smelly.
Smelly. I'm just
one
adding
word.
words.
Yeah. What do we do for fun? I mean, Elliot really, my 13-year-old is now a typical 13-year-old where
Yeah.
he's in his room, he's playing video games, and
Can't be bothered.
Like Fortnite. What's he playing?
I don't even know.
Come on.
Probably stuff that's not appropriate for a 13-year-old.
That's pretty much anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah. And otherwise, we like to do movie nights. Peter is actually really good. So to be honest, I don't take my kids out too much to do activities. He's the fun dad. He'll take them, and he recognizes they need to burn energy, so he will be that parent. Yep. Yeah.
And what does Peter do?
Peter is a project manager for a commercial glass company.
I don't even know what that means, but cool.
What do you mean? So like the windows?
yeah,
Big huge glazed windows?
Yep.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, there is something fun that you guys like to do though.
What?
Your boat.
Yeah.
I'm on a boat.
Where do you have a boat, Lynn?
We keep our boat on the
And
St.
why
Croix.
have we never been there?
Well, maybe we'll invite ourselves.
Maybe she'll invite you, but not another boy.
And what do you love about having a boat?
I love being on the water.
Yeah.
It's just calming, peaceful. And once we get to the beach, the boys can just run off and do
Their
Boy
thing.
stuff.
Yeah,
Find
absolutely.
sticks and throw stuff into the water and
Yep.
dig up things. And
Do you have like a favorite spot on the river?
We like to beach it at Kinnickinnick on St. Croix.
Have we been there, Will?
No, we've never been on the St. Croix together.
Okay.
Because you don't love me.
Oh my God. He's dramatic.
A little bit.
Nice.
Okay, so what's the future plan? So right now you're kind of the Jane of all trades of Remax Results. Like, where do you see yourself in the next 5 years?
Oh, difficult question.
I am hoping to still be here and taking care of everyone.
Well, you will still be here.
And
Because
okay, that leads me to my next question.
Uh-oh.
What?
How do you take care of yourself?
Oh, Sarah's coming in still.
Well, because when you take care of so many people,
Yes.
right? Like I have a personality where I want to take care of so many people. But at some point you need to also remember to take care of yourself so you can continue to take more of
Fill your
take
cup,
care of
recharge your
other people.
batteries.
So how do you do that with
Yeah.
3 boys, Peter, busy life, a whole corporation?
I do the things I like to do. And I will say, I don't like to give Peter that much credit, but I will. Anytime I need to, he's like, go do something. Like, I've got it. I've got the boys. He is really good about that. And it's funny because my girlfriends and I, we talk about booking girls trips and things like that.
Yeah.
And he can't stand listening to it because a lot of times it's just talk and we don't really follow through with a lot of stuff just because we're all busy. And he's just like, stop doing that. Just book it. Once you book it, you guys have to. And he's like, just go do whatever you need to do. So he is good about that. I'll say.
I love that. Okay, I have a couple more questions.
Okay.
Do you have more questions?
Shocker.
Okay, what's your favorite food?
I don't know if I have a favorite food.
Favorite genre of food?
Come on.
I mean,
You don't have a favorite food?
pizza.
See, that came to you real quick. What type
What
of pizza?
kind?
Yes, and where from?
Oh,
Pineapple or no pineapple?
I do like a Hawaiian.
Okay.
Yep. Probably not my favorite. My favorite pizza actually is from Parkway Pizza in Minneapolis. And
Yes.
they have a spicy garlic chicken pizza with a side of sriracha. Ugh.
Is that a white sauce or a red sauce pizza?
It's like a garlic sauce.
So like a garlic aioli type stuff?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Yum.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Okay.
It's so
Love
good.
that. Okay, where's the best place you've ever been?
Best place I've ever been. Maui.
Yeah.
Was that for John's wedding?
Yeah.
And you guys did the road to Hana, didn't you?
We did.
And how was that?
It was cool.
How early did you get up?
The road to Hana, I don't think we got up too terribly early.
So you didn't go for sunrise like some people.
No, so we, on a different trip to Hawaii, I was actually with Brenda Tess' house, and we were going to do the sunrise at Haleakala at the
Okay.
top of, and so we get up, and I think we have to catch this tour bus at 2 o'clock in the morning, something crazy. And it's cold. You get up there and it is cold. And of course, it was raining and cloudy. No sunrise for us. We sat there and we were they have this small little visitor center at the top with some restrooms, and everyone is jammed in there because you're so cold. You don't realize how cold it is. So yeah.
Cool.
But yeah, so no sunrise. But on the way down, it was nice. And then The package that we bought, like it took us to some golf course out there, and we had breakfast and
In the cloud.
yeah,
In the clouds.
Well, it cleared up by the time we
It
left.
does, yeah, because I'm saying it's cloudy there maybe 3.5 minutes a day.
Yeah.
And it just happened to be during sunrise. So.
Yes, of course.
Awesome.
So we saw
Okay,
nothing.
I have my final question. Do you have any more questions? Will?
I have a ton of questions.
Go ahead.
What's your favorite concert you've ever been to?
Ooh.
Backstreet Boys.
Backstreet Boys? Yes.
Yeah.
What's your favorite Backstreet Boys song?
Ugh.
I know that's putting you on the spot.
I don't know if I have a favorite song.
Because if they all come on, they're all banger.
Yeah. I will scream sing every single one of their songs.
Just getting. So are you a boy band genre fan? Like 98 Degrees?
No, just
In
Backstreet.
Sync?
Nope.
Just Backstreet Boys.
Yes.
Casey and JoJo?
No.
For some
Britney
reason,
Spears,
I can keep going.
No Britney, no Christina.
Not really.
Yeah.
Mariah Carey.
I mean, I do love me some Mariah.
Whitney.
Of course.
All
I mean,
I want for
Whitney's my number
Christmas.
one.
Yeah.
Whitney
oh my
is
gosh.
no, you know, she just happens to have like your favorite song at like weddings.
I just want to dance with someone.
I'm gonna dance with somebody,
So
Okay.
good.
Do you have any tea to spill?
No.
as the kids would say.
Do you have any like tea to
Dish the tea.
Dish
No.
the tea. So like
That's
any
yes.
fun stories about
Something's
Brenda?
going on, and you need
Anything
to tell
funny
us.
about Brenda that we should know?
I got nothing.
That's hey, if I find out and you don't tell me, I'm gonna tell everybody. But if you just tell me now, I'm gonna tell the people listening
I
to
got
this.
Nothing.
Nothing on John.
I don't think so.
And this is why Lynn is the keeper of Remax results, everybody. She's got it all in there.
It's all journaled, and she's gonna write a best-selling book one day.
She'll just change it to like, instead of like Remax results, it will be like Remax premiere.
Yeah.
And it will be all the Remax stuff.
Yes. It'll be Tuss House Brenda. That doesn't work
I
at all.
don't
That was
know.
horrible.
Okay, Lynn.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to share?
I have a question.
Oh,
I do.
yeah.
If you won $1 billion tomorrow, like I'm dead serious. Like besides paying off all your debt and like all that stuff, right? Like what would you do to fill your time? And the reason I ask this question is I ask all my coaching clients and I'm onboarding this question because it really gets to the core of who they are. And for me, I would cook. I would open a restaurant and it would be free. Anybody could come in and sit down. They would there's no menu. You eat whatever I make, right? And if you complain, get out. I'm not charging you for it. It would just be a free restaurant, but I would just cook to fill my day because I love it so much. What would you do?
I honestly don't know. I'm
More
basic.
kids?
I would love more kids.
I
Peter would not.
yeah. Don't win $1 billion, Peter. Don't win $1 billion.
I would love more kids. I would the typical traveling and
Yeah.
just making memories with my kids. I know it sounds
So you'd leave all of us in a heartbeat.
No, I don't think
I'm
I
just
would.
I don't
kidding.
think
I'm
Lynn
just
would,
kidding.
Will.
No.
I honestly don't.
Mm-mm.
I always talk about like, oh, I don't want to work anymore. Everyone goes through that. I just,
Yeah.
and for me, it's like, come on, Peter, I want to be a stay-at-home mom. But realistically, I don't even go on vacation without bringing my laptop with me, just in case. Like I don't make plans to work, but if someone needs me, I want to make sure that.
And that's the key. You want to. You
Yeah.
enjoy it.
Exactly. I don't feel like I have to. I want to.
And I know it's like that corny phrase that some people say about like, if you really love what you do,
You'll never work
work
a
a
day.
day in your life.
Yeah.
But it's like,
no, I'm
since-
working.
But I think it's like a different thing when yes, it's still work. Like we love what we do and we love like the people that we get to meet, the people that we get to lead and all those things. And some days it feels like work, right? But then it's like, okay, we just got to like rest, fill our cup, and then we're back because like the time flies.
Yeah.
Like when I think about it, being with Remax Results for almost 9 years, it's wild to me that 9 years has flown by.
Man.
Because when I think about like previous careers that I was in, I knew what day it was. I knew when my next vacation was. I knew when the weekend was. And I don't live my life like that anymore.
Yeah.
And it's a really, like, that's when you have just found like where you're supposed to be.
Yeah.
Who's your favorite sales executive? You can have a favorite one. And if it's not me, I will cry.
You think she's going to answer that?
Well, I mean, we could talk about the cup she has, but we'll
The
just say-
Remax Results Cup.
Yeah, right. Somebody's going to recognize that. They're going to know.
Lynn, I just
They're
want to.
all my favorite. That's like asking me, do I have a favorite child?
You do. You do have a favorite child.
Moving on.
Yeah. Let's be honest. Like, come on. Doesn't mean you don't love them all the same.
I just think this is really fun. I think there's a lot more that we could get to know you, but I think this really gives the sales executives and the people listening to this podcast just a little bit more about like the one and only infamous Lien Pham.
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
When you talk about what you love about your job and what you're here for, which is like the sales executives and the staff, like I can just speak for myself, but like I can feel it.
Yes,
like
absolutely.
You bring energy to a room, you make us all feel important, and it's just part of that, like really feeling loyal to not only like, okay, I'm loyal to John, I'm loyal to Brenda, but I'm loyal to the RE/MAX Results culture. And I think you're a really big part
You're
of that.
absolutely one of the keepers of the culture here.
Thank you.
And like you said, you instill that in any room you walk into. Like it just oozes out of you. And there's a better way to say it, radiates, whatever. But I think it gets the point across that when you walk in, people sit up a little straighter, to be quite honest, because they do. No, because people understand when you walk in, you're here because you have a mission to impact the people that are around you, and your energy is contagious, and people feel that. So,
your laughter. I don't think we've given your laughter enough credit.
Stop it.
And if Kathy's coming back,
Oh my God.
Oh my word!
just watch out.
I'm pretty sure I've peed myself laughing with you two before.
Gosh.
Like, just you're hilarious.
Yes. I'm sure I have too.
Yeah. Anything else you have for us? You sure?
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us today on a Results Driven Podcast with the one and only Lien Pham. Will and I loved having this conversation.
It was so
with
much
you,
fun. Yes, you're the
and
best.
we learned even more about one of our favorite people here.
Thanks, guys.
Awesome. And as always, we out. Deuces.